Hello and welcome to day 4. So this is the day about goals, strategies, and actions. Today we're going to complete this chart, except for rewards. We're going to focus on the skill set and then the goal, strategies, and actions. Now I want, remember this is a process. It took me a year of doing this before I started to feel like I had any traction with it at all. Before then, I was just making it up, just going through the process. It's a process for getting more clarity over time and not for achieving your well, I did this completely right the first time. Like that is not at all what this is like. It's not going to make any difference. This is one of the reasons that I created this whole process, the whole process with music, because then at least, assuming I'm not going to do it right, at least I had a process I could do. I could become a better musician as I did it. And instead of just flailing around and trying to achieve the perfect vision and actions worksheet. So today you're going to fill in everything except the reward. So for values, vision, mission, and motivation, you'll just fill in whatever, sort of a distillation of what you figured out in the last few days. And then under motivation, there's a demotivation place there where you can put all the highlights from the demon pot. And then for reward, you'll have to just wait till tomorrow. So let's talk about creative skill set. And then choose one goal, and we'll parse that goal out into strategies and actions. So you don't have to do this right. I'm going to say that several times. You don't have to be exhaustive. I just want you to learn the process. When we start with skill set, let's be open to what you actually bring, meaning don't discount something that you can do just because it doesn't seem to fit with, say, being a harpist. And we're going to talk more about that in about the skill set in the Q&A. But I just want to say that when I first started the harp when I was 22, I tried to separate all my creative skill sets out of my harp playing. I wanted to prove to myself and other people that I was a good harp player. And I felt like bringing in any of my other creative skills as an actress or as a singer or physically or whatever, or composing, I felt that all of that was cheating. I wanted to play classical music. I wanted to play the music somebody else had written. And the fact is, it was cheating. It was cheating the world out of who I actually am, by me trying to fit myself into a box so that I can admire myself for looking like something I'm not. That's basically what I was looking for. And it took me decades to bring me back into my harp playing. So write down all your skills, even if you think they're irrelevant. And of course, don't get obsessive about it, but that's the point, is to get them all down there. Okay, so let's talk about goals, strategies, and actions. So a goal is generally, you can look this up on the internet. I did all that. Goal is generally something that you can achieve, and you can look at it and say, I achieved that. Many people talk about SMART goals. That is SMART, specific or sometimes simple, measurable, sometimes motivating, achievable, sometimes attainable, relevant or sometimes realistic, and time-bound. So I'm just going to say simple, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound, SMART. So mostly I really want to punch people out who talk about SMART goals, because it implies that if you don't use this method, you're not smart. And if you do use the method and you fail, you're not smart. And if you do use it and it works, then they were smart to telling you to do it. So if it works for you, great. I sometimes have issues with things like that. So it's totally, up to you. For me, what I kind of break it down is I want a building block for my vision, some kind of building block. I want it to feed my values every step of the way. Like I need, one of my values is to stretch my vulnerability. So it needs to do that. One of them is to engage my resourcefulness and my creativity. So the goal needs to do that, or I'm not going to really be able to do it. And usually, the third thing is the goal needs to be way smaller than I think it should be. That doesn't matter. I always make them too big. And then that's just how it is. So it doesn't matter because I almost never actually achieve my goal. But going through the process of applying myself to achieving it is what gets me closer to my vision, and usually in ways that I don't expect. So going through the process is what seems to be valuable, not doing it right. So what I want you to do is choose one foundational building block of your vision. And this is just for an exercise. And remember, this is an exercise and a process and not the end all be all. And you're just going to go through the exercise and learn the process. And I'm going to give you an example. So part of my current vision is that I am in a sexy, soulful, truly partnered marriage. And my goal for that in the last quarter was to be dating. And I made it really specific. My goal was I would have 10 different encounters of any type with 10 different men by the end of the year. By the way, this was in the middle of the pandemic. Anyway, 10 different engagements, because that was measurable and it would move me towards my vision, even though it was completely arbitrary. So one of my strategies, so my vision is I'm in this sexy, soulful relationship. My goal is I go on 10 dates. And one of my strategies is to join an online dating site. And another was to make my home more conducive to another person to live here. And another strategy was to learn to be more romantic. So I'm just going to pick the strategy of joining an online dating site. So I knew I was scared and I would drag my heels forever. So I broke it into the following actions. Number one, I found a buddy to work with, so I didn't have to do it alone. I found these were the actions that I had outlined. Find a buddy to do this with. Find my old dating profile. I'm just laughing because it took me like 3 weeks to just find my old dating profile. Anyway, make a list of potential dating sites with the pros and cons, which I made the list and then lost it like 3 times. Read about dating after 60, which I did. And choose a dating site to start with, and so on and so on and so on. So I spent 12 weeks on this. And choose a dating site, that like took forever. And the only reason I did it is because my buddy was just like, look, I'm just going to go sign up to this thing. And I was like, well, okay, me too. So it was smart to have a buddy. Anyway, so I spent like 12 weeks on this. I did not go on 10 dates, but I did go on 3. And what I discovered, one was a phone call. And what I discovered is that like my big discovery, the big achievement, is what I discovered was that what I really need to do is to develop my emotional availability and vulnerability so that I can be in a relationship. And boom, as soon as I realized that, which was it came out of me failing, I guess. The minute I knew that, boom, this workshop came up that was specifically about that with people that I know and like, and I jumped into that. So I see that putting this goal into action led to the thing that I needed to do, but I never could have guessed that that was what I needed to do. So the point of your goals, your strategies, and your action isn't to do them perfectly so that you can prove what a smart, effective goal achiever you are. The point is to have a process you are engaged in. It doesn't work because you do it right. It works because you're engaged in it. Does that remind you of anything like music, like playing music? Certainly that's what it's like for improvising. It's not about doing it right, it's being engaged in it. So get engaged in it. Don't try to do it right. And if you're in the live challenge, we're actually going to have a Q&A session where we'll go over some of these sheets. So today I created some action music for you to play, and I'm going to break it down now, and then you can go and play it. I'll have another video. So until now, we have used motifs, but the goals, strategies, and actions is much more structured. So this is a harmonic structure or form. There is a likelihood, I'll just play it for you. This is what it sounds like if I'm playing it and I'm playing around with it. So it's like. then it might have this other section. One section and then another section. Now it may seem complicated, but basically what it is let me just, okay, I'll tell you what it is. So first I want to say there is more likelihood that you're going to hear things that you don't like when you play along with this, and that's somewhat intentional, because the goal here is not to be thrown out of the process. This is a process of doing things over and over and over again, and trusting that it doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong. Keep going, keep listening, and keep playing. Observe your frustration and wait till afterwards to put that onto the demon pot, and trust that you're going to remember those horrible demon thoughts. All right, I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute, but first I just want to show this to you. So you can play it yourself, or you can play along with what I'm going to give you. If you play it yourself, what it is it's just 2 chords. The main part is 2 chords, and you don't have to do the secondary part. The main part is 2 chords. It's a G with a D on top of it. There's no third in that chord. It's just a G and a D. And then it's a power chord, meaning it's an open fifth. And then the second chord is just an F and a C. So go ahead and just play that. And notice I'm playing with my left hand so that my right hand can play the melody. So this is G, D, and it's F, C. And that's it. Those are the chords for the main part. And you can have the rhythm. It can either be a straight rhythm, so that would be 1 and 2. I think I don't know where the beat is. 1 and 1 and 2 and anyway. So it can be straight like that, or it can be like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I think I played the first part wrong, but it doesn't matter. The fact is, it doesn't matter. You can play it however you play it. I'm going to play it when I actually do when I make the thing for you to play with. I'm going to swing it. So you can swing it, or you can play it straight. You can make it sound medieval, or you can make it sort of sound Scottish. I like the Scottish one. And this goes over and over and over and over and over. And of course, you can expand it in the bass. So instead of just having G and D, you can have G and D like that, and then F, C, F here. And of course, you can also make it little and put it up here. So you can move it around. You don't have to do the 2 sections. You can do just the 1 section. So I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it. So it may be that this, and if I'm doing it, if I'm playing it alone, I might do it, 8 bars of the G, F pattern, and then 8 bars of the D, or I might not do it right. So if you're listening to me and I do it wrong, just observe, that. Or if you think you're doing it wrong, just observe what it means to be able to listen and play at the same time. How simply, just, ask yourself, how simply do I need to play to be able to hear what's happening? Or how much do I need to not care whether I get it right or wrong, and just keep going? And both of these are valid. This is about keeping going, committing to the process, getting back on when you get lost. So I'll play here and talk a little bit, and then I'll also make another video where I'm just playing. So if you're playing with me, just play. In fact, let's just, I won't go to the second section. I'm going to say the bottom note, G, 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 and F, G, 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 F, G, again, G, G, F, G, G, F, G, again, G, F, G, I'm going to come up high, G, F, G, F, G, again, That's what's happening. It's a form. Now, I might also go and do D, 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 I think I might have gotten it wrong, and so on and so forth, going back and forth. Those are the two ideas. So they are ideas, they are kind of motifs, but they're more ideas, and you might get them right, you might get them wrong, whatever. All right, so let me see. If you're playing with me, just listen. If you see yourself get frustrated, think about what you're making that mean. That you, like, does it mean you should be able to get this, or that it should be easy enough for you to get, or that it should be recorded in a different way, or whatever. I just want you to remember that, and write those things down, but I want you to remember that the goal is not to get it right. The goal is to be engaged in the process, to commit, to keep doing it, to observe your frustration, to hear what your frustration is telling you about how things should be, and then let them go and keep going. Because those voices that come up in something like this, they're happening all the time. And you wanna learn to recognize them. And you wanna learn that you're gonna keep going. You're gonna fall off, you're gonna get back on, you're gonna keep going, you're gonna keep going and keep going, and that's what's gonna matter. All right, so I'm gonna take you over and give you to a video where we're just gonna play, and the things to remember are that these are open fifths, not a triad, they're open fifths. If you put a triad in, you might be like, why doesn't that sound right? So they're open fifths, and I think that's the main thing. And I will see you over in the playing video.